It has been previously reported that FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried had made some very large, noteworthy donations to various members of Congress. Many was looking at it as just Democrats initially, and then Sam Bankman-Fried came out and said, well, no, he donated equally to the Republican side. He just didn't speak about it publicly, and here we are. We have now 196 members, approximately 1/3 of Congress itself, looks to have taken contributions from FTX. But we have more details on what many of these people supposedly have done with their money. I'd like to see the actual receipts for all of this myself. But let's go ahead and move forward with this. I have an article. This is Watcher Guru's article. I'll have a link to that down in the description below. I'll share my thoughts, my opinions on all of this at the end of the video. I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Everything I'm sharing is my own opinion. It's my own research. I highly encourage you guys to go do your own research. And with that being said, let's go ahead and dive on into the news. U.S. Congress has 196 members who took contributions from FTX. CoinDesk has reported that U.S. Congress has 196 members who took contributions from FTX and also directly from Sam Bankman-Fried. The report notes that the figure means more than 1 in 3 members have taken contributions from the now bankrupt cryptocurrency exchange. The development adds yet another wrinkle to the mess of the FTX collapse. Now, the new session has begun with a massive number of congressional members having received campaign contributions from one of the largest financial fraudsters the industry has seen in years. 1 in 3 Congress members took from FTX. The past year is widely regarded for the massive hit that the cryptocurrency sector took. 2022 was marred by plummeting prices brought on by macroeconomic factors. It was also stained by the collapse of several large cryptocurrency companies. Yet, of those, none were bigger than that of FTX. The bankruptcy of the cryptocurrency exchange platform was only upstaged by the arrest of co-founder Sam Bankman-Fried. Charged with 8 counts of fraud and conspiracy, the 30-year-old executed one of the largest financial crime schemes in history. As the platform is in the midst of bankruptcy hearings and Bankman-Fried has pleaded not guilty in criminal proceedings, the United States government has unearthed its own SBF problem. CoinDesk has reported that U.S. Congress has 196 members who took contributions from FTX. That number indicates more than 1 in 3 congressional members who took directly from Sam Bankman-Fried. The report notes that the names involved in taking contributions range from the new Speaker of the House, Republican California Representative Kevin McCarthy, and New York Democratic Representative Chuck Schumer. Moreover, CoinDesk notes that most of the 196 who responded for comment stated that the money was donated to charity. Quote, to remove the taint of contributions from executives such as former FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried, the report stated. All right, let me stress this part to you guys again. CoinDesk notes that most of the 196 who responded for comment stated that the money was donated to charity. Well, who didn't? Who is it that received this money that was like, nah, I'm just going to keep it? Who donated to charity, who didn't? I would like to know the names of those individuals. I'd like to know the names of every single one of these individuals and how they're responding, what their thoughts are, and why did they receive these donations? How much was their involvement in the back end? Were there specific agreements that were being set in place that they were saying, all right, we're going to do this, X, Y, and Z? Is there any paper trail records of communications between them and what potentially was an agreement upon of all of this? Because oftentimes what happens is you give money to someone, in this circumstance, a politician, it's because you're expecting something back from it. It's just oftentimes that's the case, right? Whether it be, hey, I give you some money and you guys take a little bit easier in the space that I'm working in so that I can go ahead and keep doing my business the way that I'm doing it, because obviously you could pass some new laws that would make it more difficult for me or cost me even more money than what I'm doing, right? There's almost every single time there's some sort of end goal gain that's here. And when you have in the Congress right now, it's very close between Democrats and Republicans. For example, in the Senate, it's more majority in favor of that of Democrats, whereas in the House of Representatives, it's more in favor of that of Republicans. So it's kind of like, well, every 2 years, you got the votes coming in for these. Who is it that's going to end up making the final decisions on the policies? Who's going to have the majority for this stuff? So to me, it makes sense that Sam Bankman-Fried was splitting up his money amongst the two different parties, just kind of playing the odds, trying to hedge his bets as to who it is that could end up making these rules and making these changes, right? To just say, oh, I'm only going to fund this one specific side. Well, what if that side doesn't win? Then you spent all that money on that. You don't get your policy changed. That works in your favor. And on top of it, now you're probably going to get hurt even worse because the other side that ends up making these decision changes, it works against you. And obviously that doesn't help, right? So yeah, to me, it makes perfect sense that he would spend on both sides. People that want to say, well, which side received more? Does it really matter? Does it really matter? Right? If they're taking anything and expecting to give him something back in exchange, to me, that should be the prevalent problem. If one person accepted $10 and they said, yeah, okay, they want to do something in favor of Sam because he sent $10. To me, that's just as bad as someone saying, oh, you gave me $100,000? Oh, yeah, I'll go ahead and pass this policy in your favor. It's the same end result. The only difference is that this one made more money from it, and this one made less money from it, right? So what's the end goal game here? Anyone that was receiving money, they had intentions of doing specific influences as a result of this, and if there's anything that suggests that they were planning on doing that, I think it's a serious concern. And this is where a lot of this lobbying money comes in. And whether or not members of Congress should even be allowed to do this, it's a frustrating thing. You go back to campaigning. These people need to campaign, right? They need to get ads up. They need to hire staff to help with their marketing. They got to get things in the newspaper, online, YouTube previews. You've got the actual news stations themselves. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. And that stuff, it costs a lot of money. So if one person has a massive amount of money and they can pay for all of that marketing advertising, the billboards, the TV ads, the radio ads, all that, they can do all that, there's more likely an influence on the voter of who they're going to make their votes for, right? Whereas the other person, if they don't have the money, how are they going to do that? So it's this weird zone where it's like, okay, they need the money so they can get into their position, but now they kind of sold themselves out to these companies in order to do that. And oh, well, welcome to a degree of capitalism. It's a sector space of it. So anyways, I know I kind of went off tracks there just a little bit. In the end, I would like to know, what is your opinion on this? Do you feel that these people that are just donating the money to charity, like, okay, let's just not focus on them anymore. Let's not worry about anything that might have been communicated in the past? Or should we still have it be looked into and figure out who was Sam talking to, and was there any kind of agreements, etc.? So let us know your guys' thoughts on all of this down in the comments below. I would love to hear your guys' point of view on that. Again, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Please go do your own research. Thank you so much to my Patreon supporters. A double shout out thank you to WeLoveSafeman.com, Victor Vegas, SafeMan Oz for being higher level patrons. Also, thank you to my YouTube members for your support. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up like button. God bless, and we will see you in the next episode.